And that's what this video is about. It's about projecting on you, the beginner, or whoever's watching this, maybe to get motivated to love yourself. And loving yourself means to be disciplined. So I've managed to build that up. It's non-negotiable and I love it. And I've taught myself just to do it no matter what. If it's raining, snowing, you know, even if it's raining hard and I'm not using equipment, I'm still out there. I might do sprints or something like that, you know, because it's like the thought of me not doing it is far more impactful for me, where I'm like, damn, I missed a workout. If you bring that down and you start off slowly, that's a big part of this video as well. If you say to yourself, right, I'm gonna do 25 push-ups every single day, that's very obtainable. And then you do it again the next day, right? Then you do it again the next day, then you do it again the next day, and you start getting this streak going. I mean, you're gonna feel amazing about that, because that right there will be a bit of discipline, right? Because you've set the goal to do it, you've been able to do it, and then you can build those up. And that's a big part of it. And then you start doing it no matter what. All right, morning everyone. I hope you're doing well today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. As always, big shout out to all the subscribers. Gratitude to anybody new. Welcome along. This video, we're going to be talking about self-discipline, and that is a massive part of this channel. This channel is for beginners, teaching boxing tutorials, higher level of punching and striking, but also we want to delve into self-discipline. You got to excuse the camera because it's a little broken right now, so it might start slanting, but we're just going to go with it. But self-discipline, right? How can you achieve it? How do you possibly get to that state where you do things that you really don't want to do? Because essentially that is a big part of what discipline is. Consistency, doing the things that, as I said, you really don't want to do. You might not feel like doing them. You might feel a little under the weather. It might be raining today where I'm out here, and I was like, you know, I was about to, it's about 6:15 in the morning, and I was just leaving my house, and my girl said to me, she's like, oh, do you really want to go out there right now? It's raining. And I was like, that's perfect, because I was going to go out anyway, and I go out anyway, even if it was snowing out here. And I can show you some of the videos that I do where I'm out here no matter what, really, unless it's pouring down, where there's been a couple of days recently where it's pouring down so hard it's literally impossible because it would ruin the equipment. But my point is, I'm out here, you know, and I want to do that to show you guys too about, you know, what it takes to get to self-discipline. Now, I've got a little bit of self-discipline, but I want to get a lot more. And I'm trying to project that onto you guys too, people that are subscribed or have been watching the videos, and I'm very grateful for all of that. I hope you're starting to feel the message of being the best version that you can possibly be. And a massive part of that is being self-love, self-worth, self-discipline. Now, back to the question, how do you get there? Well, it's incredibly difficult, but it's not unachievable. And I'm going to explain, because I'm going to bring in some quotes and some, you know, real life situations from professional athletes that have given their, you know, advice over the years that I pay attention to. And that's a big part of it too, is like, what information are you paying attention to? Because there's a lot of information out there that can reinforce your mindset and really help you turn motivation into discipline, right? Motivation is something that we all have. It's a flash in the pan. You know, you might be motivated one day to do this, and then you might not be motivated to do that the other day. But the question is seizing that motivation, turning that motivation into a daily operation where you can turn it into discipline. Now that requires, as I said, a lot of hard work. You've got to be consistent. Now that is the key. Now I'm going to talk about some athletes that I honestly would personally think you should follow. And it might seem like the bar is extremely high, but you know, there's a lot you can get from them, because a lot of the stuff and the routines that they do, and I'm talking about people like Tom Brady, Djokovic, Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously some of the best players in the world, or some of the all-time greats at what they do in their sport. But that still doesn't mean you can't try to listen to them and take the advice that they offer, because some of the advice that they offer and some of the things that they do, a daily person, an everyday person can do. For example, Tom Brady was talking about his routine, and he was saying, well, you know, I drink this much water, right? Now that doesn't require a great deal of skill, if any, right? It just requires you to set out the amount of water that you're going to drink that day. Can you do it one day? Okay, great. Can you do it the next day? All right, because it's the same thing. It doesn't require you to walk up a mountain and physically be incapable of doing it. It's just a question of being disciplined enough to do it. And I found that fascinating because I tried to do it for one day, and I started drinking all this water, and then I did it again, and then 3 or 4 days in, I kind of fell off a little bit, But I had a lot of stuff going on, but I just realized, I was like, wow, something so simple to drink water, I wasn't able to do that. Now, I might re-up and try that again, but that's a good example of how you and I can achieve that, really. It's what's stopping us is the consistency or whatever else that was that stopped me from drinking the amount that he did. Wasn't anything that he could do specifically from a skill level, right? It was a mindset thing. And same with Djokovic, right? Djokovic, somebody said to him, oh, you're lucky that you were born with this mindset. And he's like, well, let me stop you there.
Can I tell you what one of the hardest things about covering you is? People understand big muscles and speed and grace. Mental strength, which is what I think is your great gift, is much harder to articulate.
I would have to correct you. I have to correct you. It's not a gift. It's something that comes with work.
You train for the mental side the way you would your serve or your forehand.
Let me stop you there. He's like, no, it took time, it took hard work, it took consistency, it took years to work at it, right? Now, as I said, pertaining to me, I've been working at my discipline, but I've got a long way to go. I really do. And part of this channel is to help project that too onto people, with training. Absolutely, I train every single day, all right? I'm in the gym probably 2 to 4 times a week, depending on the week. I'm out here in the park later on every single day, unless I'm in the gym, but I'll substitute the gym for the workout. So that's non-negotiable. If I feel like Sunday where things are a little bit like I could use a little break, I might take one day off, maybe. But then I'll probably even still talk myself into a light run. So I've managed to build that up. It's non-negotiable and I love it. And I've taught myself just to do it no matter what. If it's raining, snowing, even if it's raining hard and I'm not using equipment, I'm still out there. I might do sprints or something like that, because it's like the thought of me not doing it is far more impactful for me, where I'm like, damn, I missed a workout, That's how you got to guilt yourself into it, at least for me. But back to these athletes, Cristiano Ronaldo, same thing.
Sometimes you don't want to go to the gym. Of course, no. But I go because I have a compromise with myself. To mention again, the most important thing is to have a routine.
He's like, I can give you the template, right? I've got this amount of sit-ups that I do, right? I've got this amount of push-ups that I do every day. And they're fairly obtainable, right? Obviously he's built it up and he's gotten very good at that. So when on the first day, it might seem a little daunting, but it's not the amount, it's how consistent they are with it. Obviously it is the amount to a degree. I'm not saying that a beginner could just go in and start doing the amount of push-ups and sit-ups and stuff like that. But if you bring that down and you start off slowly, that's a big part of this video as well. If you say to yourself, right, I'm gonna do 25 push-ups every single day, that's very obtainable. And then you do it again the next day, right? Then you do it again the next day, then you do it again the next day, and you start getting this streak going. You're gonna feel amazing about that, because that right there will be a bit of discipline, right? Because you've set the goal to do it, you've been able to do it, and then you can build those up. And that's a big part of it. And then you start doing it no matter what. And that is where you get to the discipline part. And actually self-discipline really is just about loving yourself, And that's what this video is about. It's about projecting on you, the beginner, or whoever's watching this, maybe to get motivated to love yourself. And loving yourself means to be disciplined. And that, in a capsule, is what self-discipline is. Doing the things that you really don't want to do. Doing them every day is a non-negotiable, no matter what the weather, no matter how you feel. Take your feelings out of it, right? And loving yourself, investing in yourself, putting yourself first and putting yourself forward to be the best version that you can possibly be. And that requires self-discipline. But how do you get there again? A lot of turning those moments of motivation, daily motivation, and capitalizing on it, right? When you have a good day, and I'll go back to one of my clients that I'm really trying to really push hard. You know, it really means a lot to me to see people develop and see them do well and see them get better for themselves, you know. And pretty soon I'll be offering, you know, a membership fee, you know, small fee or a larger fee depending on how much interaction you want and how much you want to improve yourself. But I'm going to start a community where I'm going to really be investing in people that are becoming members, and it'll be my goal to get people as good as they possibly can. And this gentleman, I won't say his name, he's a client, but like I see the motivation that comes, and I'm texting him. I'm like, did you do your shadow boxing today? Just do 10 minutes. It's going to make you feel better. 10 minutes is better than none. And this is where I'm at with people, because I understand what that can do from a small chip away. You know, you're trying to get better. He's quit drinking, which is amazing, right? And now he's starting to box a little bit, and he's starting to box a bit more, and I'm getting texts from him saying, oh, you know, I just did a couple days, and I was like, mate, that's amazing. That made me feel so good when he texted me that. Maybe he's watching. I know he watches this channel. Shout out to you. I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't like being on camera, but big respect to you, bro. And you know, I'm gonna be on him. I'm gonna be on him about texting him, man. Did you do this? Because when you start to do those things, you start to shadow box, you start to work out, you start to get that consistency. You're running, you know, you're already on your way to being disciplined. Motivation's behind you, right? You're no longer motivated. You're on your way to be disciplined. Self-discipline, self-love, self-worth. Value yourself, who you are. Invest in yourself. And a big part of that is to be self-disciplined. Anyway, that's it. It's pretty miserable out here, but and my camera is basically broken, so it's hanging onto the side. I've got to get a new tripod thing. But I wanted to make this video because it's really important to me. It's a big part of the channel. I'm going to leave some clips at the end of this video, right, from athletes that I follow, that I've just constantly like tried to live up to, you know, their routine, their consistency, their mindset, and push it onto you guys. Maybe you should do the same thing. Follow them on Instagram. Follow, you know, channels. I've said this before. I'll put some below that, you know, really reinforce your daily mindset when you're scrolling. If you're on the social media and you see all this positive stuff, it's only good for you, and it'll make you help turn that motivation. Maybe you are disciplined, and if you are, let me know in the comments what you do to get there or how you got there. Let's talk about it, because as I said, this channel isn't just a boxing channel. It's a channel for getting the best out of you. I'm getting the best out of me. We do it together and we move forward and we become better people, and that's it. But yeah, I'm about to get out of here. I'm gonna go back home, put this video up, then I'm gonna come back out here for a run, then I'm gonna go to the gym. Today I'm going for a run because I wanna shoot a couple of videos, so I'm feeling extra disciplined today. Anyway, that's it from me. Peace, love, boxing on the edge. I'm out.
Dedication, hard work, dedication, hard work.
Sometimes you don't want to go to the gym. Of course, no. But I go because I have a compromise with myself.
If I start earlier, I can train more hours. And I know the other guys aren't doing it because I know what their training schedule is. Right? So I know if I do this consistently over time, the gap's just going to widen and widen and widen and widen and widen, and they won't be able to get that back.
I'm a one-man army. One-man army. The world can go against me. I'm still coming on top.
I have to correct you. It's not a gift. It's something that comes with work.
You train for the mental side the way you would your serve or your forehand. How?
So to me, it was just common sense and like thinking, how can I get an advantage? Oh, start earlier.
I got God on my side.
The most important thing is to have a routine.
Boxing.